Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to today's edition of Beyond the Ordinary Show. Today, we're talking with Karin and we're going into decoding the new ascension energies for your spiritual mastery. What does that entail? Well, Karen's going to give us a breakdown of what's been going on in the field lately. She's going to discuss the trends that are happening in our ascension and our awakening, what we're acclimating to. We're going to talk about connecting with guides and why it may be more than what you may anticipate. And we're going to go into more also. We're going to get into mastering the new ascension spiritual law, excavating oneself for deeper discovery, chipping away at all that you are not and what that means, and so much more. So it's going to be an amazing call today. We'll get into live Q&A later. So if you're live, raise your hand, type your questions in the chat box. You may get a reading from Karin, which is absolutely phenomenal. I highly recommend that you take an opportunity for this free reading. And then the special offer, if you want to go deeper and get into deep sessions, there's a course that we're going to go through, which is so on point from everything that is coming up for us now. And there's an opportunity with a package B on there to have a 1-hour session with Karin, or maybe 50 minutes. But anyway, it's a deep dive with Karin. It's an hour. Fantastic. So amazing. Y'all, welcome to the call. Karin, thank you for being here today. And I'd love it if we would start with you letting everybody know how it is that you're connecting, how it is that you're doing readings, and just a gist of how your clients, including myself, are benefiting from this wisdom that you're bringing through.
Oh, of course. Yes. Thank you. And thank you for having me on. I love this audience. You're all so advanced. It's just exciting working with you because I think we all just get higher and higher and better and greater and brighter. So thank you. Thank you. So one of the things that my guide showed me, and it was just so easy on what I am actually doing to connect with my guides, is, every time every one of us come in here and tell you, get on your spiritual path and, meditate and, feel really calm and, feel that peace and feel all of that unconditional love. All of that is really, really good training, is because you need to have that in order to just merge your soul with them. And how it looks, if you were to see it and or feel it, is that they don't come to me, I go to them. So my soul widens, lifts, matches, and then expands throughout the whole universe. And my guides did want me to explain that to people, that it's not like, oh, please come down and help me. Please come down and help me. But as you know, and you've heard me talking about, is our slave shackles have been cut. We're freed slaves. And so one of the tough things for many of us is we're being asked to connect into our God creator selves. We are equal to all of the guides and angels, all of the masters, the ascended masters, all the gods and goddesses, God and all there is. We are all one. And so they need us in that very peaceful place, because we are choosing love that way. We are choosing peace. And that is when they are willing to work with us. When we are choosing another energy, which is, there's no good or bad. Every energy that we choose, that we come up against, is one that we've already agreed that we wanted to master while we were here. So that is, it's really, really important. So what, in my course, I am going to step it out step by step by step by step by step, how to merge with them, and just make that choice.
If we agree to all of this, Karin, why is it so freaking difficult sometimes to get to the other side of it?
I think I can talk about me. And I can also, and I think that this is going to describe, almost everybody on this call. I was a really good slave. I worked really hard. I worked really long hours. I was so good at it.
Mm,
And so it's hard for me. It's like, no, you don't understand. I know how to do this. I know how to, I know how to heal myself and I know how to bring in abundance and I know how to bring in a relationship. And I don't. I did back then. I no longer know that. And so I think that that's the piece that's so hard is just trusting that literally we're working with magic. We're working with magic. I think that we all need to get, very, very used to communicating with our team nonstop. They want that. We no longer have a supplicant relationship on, what do you want me to know? They're going to like, what do you want to know?
mhm.
And so they really want us creating. They want us creating with our imagination, with our creativity. And if we're creating out of love, they will merge with us and give us the answers that we need.
Yeah, I want to get to some of the breakdowns as to what's happening and the trends also. And it's because I think that's so important. But I have to go deeper into this conversation with you because wonderful, they want us creative, but so many of us at times we're just like, it feels like we're stuck in the mud. We don't even know what to create, what we want to create. We just know that we want to wake up, we want to feel maybe a little more vitality or a lot more. I feel stuck, opportunities aren't coming in, the energies are too much. It's like, how do we what's the guidance that's coming in and how we can start to resuscitate and resurrect that vitality and that creative force within us?
Oh my gosh, my guides just made you ask me that. Thank you. So, what I've been shown, a lot of people I'm talking to feel like they're stuck. They know they can kind of feel like there's something big happening, but they
Mm,
feel stuck. And the reason that they feel stuck is that their whole team is keeping them at a still point. There's a stillness. Birth happens in the stillness. And all we need to do, if we don't know what we need, if we don't know what we want, if we don't, and you said it so beautifully, I want to wake up and feel hopeful. I
mm,
want to wake up and feel, seen and heard and safe. I want to feel financially safe. I
mm,
want to feel like my health is sparkling. I want to feel happy. And that is all that we need to do. Your team's been with you your entire life. They know what you want. They know what you're good at. They know what you love to do. They know what you're overcoming so that you can step out and be brilliant at that. And that's why the love part of the creation is also so important. My guides were my guides were telling me that when we are trying to do something that we wish we could love,
mm,
we're at a standstill and they just want us to kind of push that away. That is never going to create into a miracle. It's part of what we need to chip away at what is not us. And so what my guides basically said is we create from this beautiful still point, and that is when this eclipse energy came in, which was so beautiful. We went from light to dark, and now it's light again. But what this light is actually telling us, we're all kind of like still and quiet. And it's so that we can be very, very aware of our thoughts and our emotions. And I'm going to unpack that. So as everybody here knows, a thought is a thing. And if it blossoms our heart and makes us excited, it becomes a really big thing. We've given birth, it's coming in. A thought is also a thing, but if that thought brings any worry or fear, that also creates and it just bounces against and it prevents your miracle for coming in. So when that little thought form appears, that is, and what my guides want you all to do is when those little spooky wookies come in, when the fear pictures come in, when anything that just like, oh, I don't like this, They want you to go, yippee, something to heal.
Hmm.
And that's also one of the reason why so many feel like they're in still point right now. It's so they'll be aware of what needs healing so that their more authenticness and bigger love can actually get bigger and come back in. So my guides want everybody to know that if your miracles are not coming in, the reason they're out there, they're trying to come in, but there's no room. And I use the analogy of, you go out, you buy this beautiful new car, you're so excited, you pull it up to your, they're called garages, you lift up your garage door and you've got junk in there. There's no room for the car. It's just, you just need to clear out all of the stuff that you don't love, that's not authentically yours, that doesn't make you feel empowered, seen, heard, loved, abundant, happy, joyful, lucky. And the other thing that my guides want everybody to know is if you do not feel 100% empowered, feeling unconditional self-love, and when you look at others, you just look through the eyes of love.
Hmm.
If you don't feel completely at peace, connected with everybody, you're working, you're processing drama and trauma from your life. You are processing drama and trauma from your childhood. You're processing karma, and you're also because of the level that you attract on this show, we are all working with energetic energies as well. If you don't feel peaceful and absolutely wonderful, what you're doing is processing other stuff. How do you heal it? Spiritual law number 1 states anything sent back to the light must go.
Hmm.
So you just take, the spooky wookie comes in. It's like, oh God, I'm kind of scared to, go do this. And it's like, is there any room in my future for this? It's like, no. Spirit, invoke spirit, the first spiritual law, send it back to the light. It must go. Have it transmuted to love and light. Take a deep breath in. And even if all you can think of is, yeah, I just want to feel a little safer,
Hmm.
that's fine. That's all you have to do. So what's happening with all of us in this incredible still point, um, very uncomfortable for those of us who are really good slaves, very uncomfortable, because it's almost kind of like the still before the storm when you're a slave, when you have no choice, when you have no power. But the other piece is that so we are being so that spirit is kind of, they want us in still point so that we can kind of chip away with all of the healing that has to be done. No big deal. It's not a big deal. It's not anything spooky. You just send it out. If I'm so that's actually what's happening. So we are being asked right now because we are making a choice. We're making a choice between love or fear. And as everybody knows, there's a lot of polarity. And every time each one of us makes one tiny little choice of love, it heals the planet.
Hmm.
It heals the whole universe. And so what we are being asked to do, I call it the fierce self-inventory of I just anything that there is no room in your future for it, that you don't feel 100% empowered. There's that is what we're actually working on. When we release and send those spooky wookies back to the light, we are choosing love
Hmm.
and have helped heal. We've helped heal everybody else in making that own thing. So I know when I talk to people, they're just saying, wow, healing's happening really fast.
Yeah.
A lot of people are, I know I just had Oh, the other night in my dreamscape, I had, like 7 people come in, do drive-bys just to say, I'm sorry, forgive me for being awful for you. And it was like, oh my God, I love you. Thank you. Yeah, you taught me how to stand in my power. Thank you. And off it went. I woke up feeling like, wow, I am not afraid of that kind of stuff any longer. So a lot of people are having that. Healing is becoming very, very easy now. So rather than, as all of us who are healers, clairsentients, empaths, we all came forth, and up until, I'm going to call it yesterday, we had to feel everything in order to heal it. We had to feel it, process it. And what my guide said is, with this wonderful new energy, we no longer, because we are identifying and creating as our God creators self, we're merged with all there is. And all we need to do, the very first, I'm going to describe what happened to me the very first time I was told to do it. So I had a huge picture, a really spooky, wooky picture, big trauma, childhood trauma. And my guide said, okay, Karin, we want you to step outside of your body, so you will be the observer. You will also be aware of being in your body, so you are the observed. And you are going to witness this pain and heal it. And literally, and this was a big picture, this was a big one, and it literally melted and parts went off. And so we don't have to feel everything to heal it. We just need to witness it. And what I like to say is, when you're standing in front of yourself and you've got a really spooky, wooky picture of whatever it is, they want you to look through your most loving eyes possible, want you to project that unconditional love and knowing the brilliance and the light and the beauty and the ability to heal and gain strength from that process of healing. And we're done. And we're done. And yeah, go on.
No, that's really part of the trends that we were talking about earlier. It's really, it's so powerful, and it's a reclamation of our energetic mastery. And y'all, that can seem big to some of y'all. It's like, what does that mean? I don't know how to get there. That's so far removed from me. And Karin, I know you have a different opinion than that.
We all have access to it. And again, I teach people how to do it, and I don't have 8 steps and you need to do this and that and memorize this and stand on one foot and jump around. It is just really quick, using spiritual law in order to do it. Everybody has the ability to do it. And I almost like, want to ask everybody to kind of pull up that one thing they're working on right now, just that one thing that they're like, and I want everybody to imagine that you are standing there with that spooky wooky, whatever it is, that I'm not good enough, I'm not ready, I'm not lovable, I'm not, I struggle with poverty, whatever it is. And I want you to be in your body with that. I want you to picture a part of your soul walking and standing right in front of you, and just witnessing the pain or the fear. We'll call them spooky wookies because they're not a big deal. And I like to use silly words. And I want you to witness the pain that you're in. And I want you to witness the beautiful light that you have. And I want you to witness this little tiny tweak that it's going to take in order to have, in order to let go of whatever this is that is filling up your garage so your car can't fit in there. And by mastering that, you will literally feel it soften. You'll feel it evaporate. You'll feel it go. Give yourself all the unconditional mommy love that you needed when it was created. Or daddy love. And you will feel it melting, just melting.
Beautiful, Karin. Oh, I love that.
I'm a little off topic. My guides want me to say that if you're facing a really scary health challenge and you've been told there's no cure, you can heal yourself. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll receive that. There's a few people out there that I feel perhaps need to receive that, or the hopefulness of that, and the empowerment as well. We can go into where we're being called to in the trends, and again, that mastery that I mentioned earlier. And there's still certain components, and I'll start with one, and then I'll kind of lump the other ones into place as well. And the first one's, well, but I've got to clear my past karma. I've got these Akashic records that have been written a particular way, and I have to go in and I have to work on rewriting that somehow, or even clearing out the ancestral. And I feel like it's not really me, like it's something else outside of me.
Yes, I know that. Feels like a curse. I hate that word because I don't believe in them. We are a God creator, and we can now heal all karma and create what we want in its place. Now, a lot of people will say to me, you don't understand. I've been the same picture keeps coming around, the same pain. I'm in this loop, and I'm just going down and down and down.
Dreams, the same visions, the same relationships, everything, right? Yeah.
All of it. And the opportunity that we have right now in this energy is every time we get a spooky or an ick or any kind of thing, and we stop and go, oh, there's no room in my future for this, and we command it to go back to the light, to be transmuted, take a deep breath, get in our body again, we have healed something. We don't need to know the story. We don't need to know whose it is, where it came from, universal, family. Sometimes we know, oftentimes we don't. But what happens is we feel it and we think we're flawed. We think that we feel like there's something wrong with us. We feel like there's, you will never get over it. We're not good at, everybody else is lucky. I can't do this. And all we're doing is sending it back to the light piece by piece. And the other thing that I want to remind people is that there's oftentimes a theme with our karma. And we are being asked to heal it because we can create what we want. We send it back to the light. We can create what we want. But even if what happens for many is, I just healed this. I did this big thing and I healed this, and here it is again. So I must not have done it right and I didn't do it. And that's not true. It is just another circle of the same karma. And I promise you all, and it may feel the same, it might be somebody, it doesn't matter. Just like my job as a God creator is I am clearing karma. I am choosing love rather than fear. And I'm sending anything that I do not like how I feel back to the light. There's no room in my future for that. And so we get to a point, we never kind of get it done because most of us here are doing a lot more than just, we've all had a lot of past lives. There's normally a trend. And so it keeps coming up and keeps coming up. But our responsibility is to stay in still point. Oh, I don't want this to settle in. I don't want to start believing this. There's no room in my future to feel like I'm not good enough. Off
Mm,
to the light you go.
mm,
And it's why they keep us in the still point, for us to be aware of what do we love and what do we want to, embellish and enhance, and what we don't want any longer.
mhm,
And the other thing that's so beautiful is that every time we are doing that, and we all are on this call and we're all doing it, we're literally lifting, this karmic polarity off the planet as well. For
mm.
those of you who are here to save the planet, the message that my guides are telling me is that planet Earth has never been happier or more joyful with all of us working together. We're in a second renaissance, we're healing it. And that every time you even think, I'm going to choose healing, I'm going to choose love, everything expands.
I agree with you. I agree with you. No, I know with you actually. I don't even, it's not even an agreement. It's not even,
Right?
it's an absolute knowing that that's really what's taking place. It's probably the same answer, but I want to address it because I see quite a bit of it in others. I work with people in it. I witness it in friends. Um, that's all great, Karen, and that's amazing. But my family trauma or the abusive patterns in my personal relationships, or the financial poverty that I grew up in, or the sexual assault that's causing havoc in my body and in my mind. All these things, I've got to clear those, and I don't know how, and I keep looping through them. And I've done ancestral work. I've tried so many other things, and it's just I don't feel like I can grow beyond that because this thing still has a grip on me somehow, and it keeps coming up. What would you tell those people?
Kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
Find your still point so those pictures can come in. Observe them as pictures, don't feel them, don't go through the trauma again.
Hmm.
And basically say, I choose to send this back to the light, and to feel safe, and to feel abundant, and to feel loved.
What's
And
the next part of the alchemy? So we've worked, I don't want to use the word work. We're relating to the energies in a different way now.
yeah,
Okay, I've gone through this healing. I can feel something lifted up. Um, I believe that there is the possibility for new outcomes, not the same loops playing out. What now? What do I do from here? Because again, sometimes it just feels like we're stuck in that waiting pattern for something new to evolve.
well, that is when we start feeling more comfortable, when we start seeing miracles, when
Mm,
things that we've always wanted start coming in because we're making space for them. Then what happens is we feel a little bit more hopeful. We
mm,
feel a little bit more joyful. And then we start going into these creation things like, ooh, wouldn't it be cool? Wouldn't it be really, really cool if I could do this?
mm,
And you kind of, it's a matter of, when we are in the struggle of healing, we are we're in a certain stream,
mm,
and all we're doing is going, woo, I'm tired of this stream, I'm going to jump up. I'm going to just jump and go to a higher stream, and then more things come in, more
mm.
miracles come in.
And it's a question of patience. And
Hmm.
sometimes you don't have to be very patient. For me, it's also a question of receptivity as well, because sometimes things come in so quickly that we want to put the brakes on. It's like, whoa, it can't happen that fast. You've got to be kidding me. Let me slow it down so I can be comfortable with it.
Right. Yeah, I know that one.
Yeah. And what do you suggest for those of us who like to put our foot down in the pedal and on the brakes at the same time?
You know, I always advise that you're always in communication with your team. And whether or not that's, in your imagination, if that is you kind of feel them, if you know whatever that is, but you're in communication with them. And it's very fair to just basically say, wow, you brought this in really, really fast. And I need to feel kind of calmer, like things are being taken care of. So I need all you to give me proof that you're working on it. I need proof from all of you that you're taking care of things. And so I can keep in my peace and calm, take steps forward. And um, when that kind of thing happens, it's like the other thing that happens is we create these big miracles and then they come in and they create blocks of fear in order for us to heal. And so again, it's yippee, something more to heal, and this is big. Um, but you're not doing it by yourself. You're co-creating as a God. There's no difference between you and all of them up there. The only difference is you volunteered to come take a role here. You took a body to collect the data to know what you would need in order to bring peace on earth.
Amazing.
Starting
Amazing.
with bringing
I
peace
love your
with your.
guidance. Yeah. And y'all have to tell you, I love what Karen's saying, and I so resonate with it. I've also benefited from what she's saying tremendously from sessions I've had with Karen, multiple sessions. And something that it just does, it's like my nervous system's like just something goes off, it clicks. It's like, yeah, of course. And then I relax and I'm more receptive. I'm more aware also, and then the receptivity and the awareness, which brings in not only discernment, but also brings in prosperity consciousness, if you will. And
Yeah.
when you mix those together, what's possible, you really start noticing how the stream's working in your favor, not against you. You really start going with the flow. You start trusting it more. You can feel it. And as you feel it, it's in your waking reality, you start seeing those either macro or micro adjustments, but they're undeniable. So it's absolutely fantastic. Karen, I want to get into some Q&A because I want everybody to start experiencing some of the readings with you.
Okay.
I'm going to ask April or Chris, we all put the link for the special offer in the chat box, please? There you go. Chris put it in there. The special offer has the opportunity for a reading with Karin, but there's also a 6-week live course where how to hold the container for Karen's speaking about that empowerment, that coming into mastery, and again, the alchemy in which it can be held in. Karin breaks it down in such an easy, simplified, actionable way. We're going to get into it later, but I would recommend that y'all start checking it out now if you want to. And again, we'll get into more detail here in a little bit. But I want to start with live callers first. So Carrie, I want to call on you first. Welcome to the call.
Thank you so much. Thank you both. I feel like you're speaking directly to me. It's like you're putting things in different perspectives. It's things I know, but things I really need to hear right now. So thank you for that.
Yes, you already know everything that you need. You're just kind of remembering it. So thank you.
That's how I feel.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. Yeah.
What's your question? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, question. Yeah, so I feel I've been feeling the call for a while to start a spiritual business. I just want some clarity on how to combine my gifts and what my offering would be. I feel sometimes a little scattered because I have so many interests, especially when it comes to spirituality. And I feel like sometimes I pull myself back because I'm dipping my toes in too many modalities. I don't know. It's kind of a vague question, but any insight? Thank you.
You're going to love this answer, my love.
Okay.
You're not dipping your finger into way too many pots. You're not learning too many things at all. What's happening is you are being guided. You need to know all of these little pieces to put them all together. And you're just collecting data. You're gaining experience. You're collecting data. And when you launch your business and look back, you will go, how did I know to do all of those things? I felt like I was crazy. How did I know? And then the next thing that you're already doing it, you're so masterful. You're just being pulled right into your destiny. I also want you to know that if that wasn't your destiny, you wouldn't want it. And I always say there are people that all they want to do is scrape tartar off your teeth. And I can tell you that's who you want as your dental hygienist. But you are just being led right into your destiny. And the next thing is you're already paying attention to it, but really just, hold on to the stuff you love, you're good at. And the rest of it is just like, oh, this is just knowledge. When you're working as in a spirit, when you are in service, we all are getting the same information coming down, but we process it. We are all very unique, very important, very special. It's all the same information, but it needs to be filtered through our education, our experiences, what we know, what we love, and what we're good at. And that's what makes us unique.
Amazing.
Love that. Thank you.
Carrie, I have a question for you. When the thought comes in, if I feel like I'm doing too many things all at once and I'm scattered, is that really you, or are you hearing that from somewhere else?
Yeah, maybe somewhere else, because I feel like childhood me also loved to do many things and, excelled at many things. Kind of felt the master of none. So I think that's an old story. Yeah.
Yeah. And again, we're taught that. And a lot of times we know when something's right for us, but because we're not successful and we're not in a niche and people says, pick your niche and pick your lane and all these other things, sometimes it can feel like, well, maybe I'm not doing it right. And when we're trying to discover that next expression of us, it can be really challenging, because I'm like you. I've tried 1,000 different things, had 1,000 different sessions, but it was all building up to, oh, that makes sense now. That's why I can express now. That's why this is coming in. That's why when I launched the show 11 years ago, it was successful from day one. From day one, it just like blew up. But it wasn't an instant success. It was 40 years in the making, and I know that. Right? And so I wouldn't be surprised if you find your blow-up moments very quickly. But keep following your heart. Don't get into the metrics of how much money I have in my bank account so I can determine that I'm successful. Redefine what prosperity means to you and follow that as your guidepost.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
they want you to have fun with it. You're doing the most natural, normal thing for you. Have fun with it. Okay. And that whole thing on, master of none, there's no room. There's no room in your future for that. Go ahead and send that back to the light. That's ridiculous.
Send it back to the light. Thank you.
Yeah, that's not true. You're divinely guided. You're going to do very, very well.
All right, let's go on to another caller. Again, we're going to get to special offer you on in a little bit. Vanessa, welcome to the call.
Hi, John. Hi, Karin.
Hello, Vanessa.
How are you guys doing today? Thank you.
Wonderful.
And John, your work is phenomenal. This is your show's transformative. So, so thank you guys very much. But my question is same thing along the lines of spiritual business. I was wondering if your guides might be able to share a name of a business, because I would not like to use my name. Does that make sense? Like a title or a URL, or I'm trying to, because I'm getting the structure together right now. It's all coming in very fast, actually. But the name of the business, I'm having thoughts about.
I'm seeing a name of the business, but I'm also, are you feeling a little bit held back with using your own name?
Yes.
Mm.
Yes,
Okay.
I am. Yeah.
They want you to use your own name.
Do they really? Okay. 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 Okay.
You know,
Okay.
I have to just, I'm going to tell you this story. I come from corporate, and when I moved into being a psychic, my biggest spooky wookie was going onto LinkedIn.
Yeah. Oh. My heart's there. My heart's there.
Okay. There's no room in your future to not be seen or heard.
Mm.
Right, it goes. There's no room in your future to not be known.
Thank you. Thank you. I greatly appreciate that.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Yeah,
Thank you.
congratulations.
Thank you, guys.
So cool. Okay, let's continue to our next caller, Rumyana. Welcome.
Hi, thank you. Can you hear me?
We can,
Yes. How are
yes.
you, my love?
Hi, Karin. I had one session with you before. Pleasure to see you again. My question is, like you said, like really nice things last time about like abilities that I eventually can remember again. I was worried about my mom's health a lot. So my question is, if you see, like I can feel that we're doing much better if we're on the right path.
You're right you're right on path. You're doing beautifully. And the way that you actually do a test is you're feeling better. You're feeling happier. You're seeing more success. You're seeing, you're just seeing things that make you happier.
Yes, I think I see that already. We both see actually. So I was just curious actually. My question on the chat was like if we are connecting with the guides and like our guides, our team. So yeah, it's good to have a confirmation for that.
You're doing so beautifully.
Thank you. Excited to see you again.
Yes.
Karin, for the benefit of everybody listening, including myself, and it's always great to receive additional confirmation because I'm aware that I connect with my guides. But what are some other telltale signs that would indicate to us that communication is happening, that what we're receiving, we're not making it up, but also that what we're requesting is being received?
I love this question. So we all take in information a little bit differently. Most of us go into our imagination and we'll kind of go up and go, oh, wouldn't it be cool if, and then a little more pictures will show up, and then we'll kind of work with it and get excited about it. That is us in co-creation with our team. Mm-hmm. The minute that they drop a little, for you, for those of you who are very analytical, you beautiful analyticals, if they drop a little piece in that you don't understand, they want you to know you're in communication, you're in co-creation, and to say, that made no sense, show me clearly, rather than, this is just my imagination.
Beautiful. Something happened today. I was in a session with a client, but I don't take a lot of private clients, y'all. We got the show to do and other things, but I do have a few clients that I've been working with for a long time. And there's one particular session, I guided her to go into connecting to her heart and then connecting to her light energy. And she's very connected into the galactic, especially the Pleiadian energy. It's like, all right, ask the Pleiades to come down. And she opened up her crown chakra in that space, and she's like, amplified. And you can tell she was having this visceral experience. She's like, I haven't felt energy this powerful ever in my life. And she was just vibrating. And we were in there for a good 3 to 5 minutes as she was amplifying it. Then I asked her to keep holding it. And I saw her guide step out of her field. And she was still amped up. She was still vibrating at that high speed, and her guides were over on the side, just witnessing her. And we held that for like another 5 minutes. And when I finally asked her to come back and open her eyes and take a deep breath just to ground back in, I can't believe how long they were with me. I can't believe how amplified I was. I can't believe all that energy was running through me. And I was like, yeah, but the most beautiful part of that was that you were doing most of that. They stepped out of your field. It wasn't them. It was actually you. And so we're stepping into something, Karin, that's quite profound.
Yeah, beautiful. Yes, we are. And so much brighter and more powerful than maybe we feel safe with today. And that's why we chip away with spooky wookies.
Ah, nice. Nice.
Yes, so beautiful. Ah.
Yeah, it's powerful what's coming through. And again, it's like part of the trends that's coming up. It's Karin and I were speaking before we went live, and Karin asked, what are you noticing? It's like, notice how I'm really being asked, or I don't even think it's an ask, but we're being called forward to really know our authority and to emanate that authority. And I believe that authority, it's always been granted through free will, but the access that we have to cross the different portals wouldn't be we wouldn't be a vibrational match for it if we're holding the density in where it would disrupt what's disruptive to the collective. And so there's a trust mechanism in us that there's these, I don't want to call them fail safes, but there is a resonant energy that we're becoming and being and creating in your authority from that energy. Not only do you have permission, you're being encouraged, and you wouldn't be able to create in that way unless you were a resonant vibration with that benevolence creation. You just wouldn't. And I just so know that we can trust that, Karin.
Yeah, well, and we're all on a trust walk. I mean, it's invisible for a lot of us.
Yeah.
And I know people like, I want to see my guides like I see you, and it's like, no, you don't. You know? You want to go see people that see their guides, you can, go check in an insane asylum. You don't want that. You want exactly the way that they communicate with you. And I think one of the most profound things my guides told me is, if we were to honor our intuition 100%, our life would get perfect. So if you're only honoring your intuition by 30%, you're leaving 70% on the table.
Wow.
And it takes courage to do that. It is a trust walk.
Yeah, and it's good to know that math, because it's like something will click and it's like, wait, that doesn't make sense.
Right?
You're telling me I can be in my 401k matching 100% rather than 30%? I'm going to do it.
Right.
Of course. Amazing. Hey, y'all, we're going to take more Q&A and get into more discussion. But part of the discussion also, I think we're going to go deeper, and it's going to amplify something else, because the special offer of Karin is really taking us through the steps: ascended self-mastery, ascended self-governance, ascended sovereignty, ascended consciousness, how we hold that, how we can see that in ourselves, and so much more. So we're going to get into a special offer. Package B includes the private session with Karin also. But y'all click on the special offer link, because again, it's going to open up today's energetic discussion as well. And Karin, if you would guide everybody on what they're going to be participating in and receiving as they go through these 6-week live calls with you, and also in the personal session if they choose that.
Okay, I'll start with the personal sessions. Everyone is just a little bit different. I am a psychic intuitive medium, and I'm also a teacher, so I don't leave you not knowing what to do to feel better. Okay. I also have access to the Akashic records, so we could do major clearings, whatever, or I can teach you how to do them, so you don't need to depend on me for that. Happy to do the heavy duties. They're all very, very different, but what I'll do is call your guides and angels in and have them just tell me what they want you to know. So I don't tell you anything you don't know. I confirm what you know, and I also confirm some of the stuff you're hoping for, and can kind of let you know what's going on with what's coming in and what tweaks you need to make it come bigger, faster, more beautiful. Again, every reading is very, very different, but I do not leave you with just like, oh yeah, you got some spooky wookies coming in, so good luck. We've all had those readings that people like, oh, things are not good for you. It's like, really? You know? The 6-week class, there'll be 6 weeks done on Saturdays. So our friends in Europe and other places, it's, you know, easier for them. So the first week, what I'm going to focus on is kind of ascended self-empowerment. And we're going to go over spiritual law, how everything works. You know, moving out any dense energies and kind of, you know, we're going to go much deeper in what I was talking about with, you know, everything is a gift for you. Sometimes you suffer through them. It's still a gift. Okay. And how to really bring in that radical inner peace that's going to jumpstart every miracle that you have. Week 2, I'm going to be focusing on, I'm calling it ascended self-governance. And so when, you know, if you sometimes feel like nothing happens for you ever, or even worse, bad things happen to you, we're going to unpack that and show you what's going on and how you can become that God creator to go, oh, that's why this keeps happening, because I keep creating it, and off that it goes. So we're going to go really, really deep into what I call the fierce self-inventory. To release all those habits, patterns, and beliefs that there's no room in your future for them. There's just no room. So we can clear up some energetic space so you can allow some, so that some of your miracles can come in. So that'll happen pretty quickly. On week 3, I'm going to go even deeper. It's all about the random energy, the uncomfortable energies that come in, that sometimes you can't figure out where they're coming from. You don't know the story. Many of them you can't even self-detect them because they feel like the, you know, old home week. So if you've always, you know, struggled with poverty, when you have these poverty things come in, it just feels like, well, no, this is normal. And so I'm going to teach you how to like be completely aware of those so you can start healing those. Just because they feel like home doesn't mean we want them to be our home. We're going to be doing a lot of dismantling of any of the I'm not good enough, you know, who do you think you are? I don't know enough yet. I'm not lucky. I'm not special. I don't have I can't do all of that. We're just going to move it all out. And again, leave some space for some miracles to come in. When the miracles come in, that's when you have other spooky pictures. That's normally your own karma. And so you'll know how to handle that so that you can move through. True mastery is not letting the spooky wookies put you in the corner and in fetal position. So, and we will really be practicing the healing through the stillness. That is always a really fun week. The 4th week I refer to as ascended sovereignty. And that is more about you merging with your team, your psychic abilities, getting really, really expanded and clear, trusting what's coming in. And my guides have said the information that is coming in on the planet right now is so grand. It's why our psychic abilities are all expanding, because our little tool brains aren't going to be able to make any sense of it. And so kind of help you step into that point. And this one's really wonderful for all you analytics, you know, on how to just like, okay, how do I process, you know, how do I process this? I don't feel safe. But what happens there is not only you connect in with your guides and your angels, but you're really connected into, I'm just going to call it your soul group on the planet, so that every time one of them chooses love, you get the uplift. When you do, everybody gets the uplift. And it is, you can literally feel this incredible uplift and magic happening. Week 5, I started week 5 saying that if you follow your intuition by 100%, your life becomes perfect. And so we're gonna unpack that, and the trust walk, and and sometimes we get messages that they can't be right because it's not what they can't be right. That might be in one where you have a family member that is just challenging, and sometimes you just need to take a step back, and it's like, I can't, they're family, we need to be together. And so it's like kind of working through that process of what your intuition is saying, and just mindfully following it. They want you to know that when you are following your intuition by 51%, your life changes. When you go from 49 to 51, everything opens and flows for you. So we're going to make sure that you know how to do that, that you do it. And when you're not doing it, you know you're not doing it. And then the last week, I refer to this as, we're all here on purpose. We are so important, and the gifts that we have are so important. And when I was shown what this looks like and the importance of it, I saw that each of us is like a golden thread, that it weaves with all the other golden threads and creates this incredible, I'm going to call it a blanket of peace. And that's what we're here to do, to move out this polarity and bring peace on earth. And that is, honoring your personal and purposeful creative work, working in your imagination, chipping away at everything that is not authentically you. And I like to refer to it as, and then you'll be able to lift up your conductor's baton and start conducting your orchestra, your symphony orchestra. And that's when really the big magic happens. So 6 weeks, an hour, and I always do Q&A. So if you're not able to attend, if you send in a message, I'll try to answer it. So
you will definitely answer, and you're amazing at doing all that. Y'all, this course, again, the way Karin breaks it down, it's empowering. They're like simple call outs, a simple script, simple commands to really work with the spooky wookies, as Karin calls them, to call in your power, to call in really your authority, and how really easily, y'all, and I want to emphasize how easily you can really create it. It happens, and the reset, and even our chemical responses to fears, it doesn't trigger in the same way. Again, Karin's absolutely amazing. The 6-week live course, if y'all can't attend live, there will be recorded sessions. So you'll get the replays. Well, you get recorded replays no matter what, attending or not. So you'll be able to go back and review again. And it's highly interactive. Karin is one of the most general speakers that we have on the show. Generous. Did I say general? Generous. speakers that we have on VTO. And again, I cannot recommend the 6 weeks course enough. And if you have the opportunity for only $50 more, you can have a 1-hour session with her as well. So the link's in the chat box, y'all. I can't make you press it, but I can lead you to it, right? And take advantage of it. And then we'll put the link up a couple more times before the call ends as well. But at the very least, keep that tab open, go back and review it. And again, her sessions are amazing, absolutely amazing. Thank you, Karin, for putting that together. Thank you for the very generous pricing that you're offering it at as well. And with that, I'd love to open to some more Q&A because I know that there's some more great questions coming in. And the next caller I want to take, it's Carol. Carol, welcome to the call. Let's get you to unmute, please.
Can you hear me?
We can, yeah, hi.
Yay, hi. It's interesting because I had a question, but then as we were talking, apparently that wasn't my question. And I think this is something that both of you, would be able to have good input. I'm established in my business, and I did use my name, but I used my middle name. So for whoever asked about the name, they had me drop my last name and just use my first and my middle name. But anyways, it's very interesting because I thought I had something, but then I know my power when I'm working with my clients. I know my empowerment when I'm working with my clients. I know the capabilities are unlimited. I am in it. I provide, I show up. They are in awe, repeat, clean up, go, repeat, clean up, go. The interesting thing is I discovered just a few minutes ago, I'm not sure, do I own my power or own that power? When I say that, it means like, I work strong, but it feels like in my day-to-day life, I shut it off and I exist because I know at one point I had to. But is there like an unconscious fear that wow, that's too powerful for me? In my confinement of my work, it's acceptable, it's big, and I make money, and I'm good, and I know I've had a session with Karin before. It's going to be a massive expansion, but I think I don't know. That's a question. So am I not owning that power, or am I not being that power, or am I afraid of that power? Is this odd?
No, I love this question. And I'd love to also hear what John has to say. What I'm looking at is you're so used to being in service to other, and you don't take the time to be in service to yourself. And so that is what I'm looking at. And for you to actually observe and witness yourself and look at this, is there any place in my future to kind of feel like, why do I go, why? Because you do own it. Okay. You know you're good. And you're somebody that you don't need somebody else to say, oh, you're so good. You experience it, you see what you're able to do. But what I'm looking at is what's really going to take you to the next level is being able to be that healer to yourself and stand and observe. And what's kind of holding me back here? Why, I'm ready to really expand. What's holding me back? But you feel very strong. You feel like it looks like there's a couple of things that are kind of holding you back that has to do with energy. And it's almost like, well, if I grow this big business really big, how much time, it feels like just energy going out. And so I would love to have you go take a walk in nature, find that still point, and grab your team and basically say, okay, show me what's holding me back. Okay. And when they show it to you, like, is there any place in your future for this? No.
It's like I'm at that threshold of, the younger version of me just prayed and desired to be. And I know that the quality of my healing work and the intuition, and even the experience of actually being in a situation of live, it was a whole different experience and a whole different level. But it's just, there's something there. And so energy wise, okay, find out what it is. He'll go, continue to do the healing work.
Get a session with Karin. I highly recommend it.
I've had them. I love them.
I'll get another one. I have a few things to share, if that's all right.
Yes.
First of all, I love Carol Lay. Good job on the name. That's just, it's so rocks. It's just on point. It's like right there. It's like
Thank you.
Going anywhere else with it. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
I have to give Karin Tobiasen credit as well. From an entrepreneurial business standpoint, she's pretty badass. She has guided people to appear on Oprah's show several times. She's pretty well known in her field, and she decided to come do this. Like, the advice that comes from her isn't just kind of flimsy from someone who's trying to figure out how to scrape a few dollars as a spiritual entrepreneur. It's like she knows how to build. And I want to share that with y'all because there's a potency and an awareness and a groundedness that comes through this very high vibrational energy. And I would say the same is probably similar to you, Carol. And a lot of times, and I'm speaking from personal experience, and perhaps I'm a mirror for you, but I find that when I get caught up and I'm really noticing the effect I'm having on my clients when I'm working on them, the impact that is, and I'm really owning it, whether they see it or not. I just know it's like, it's freaking amazing. Something's landing in me, but it's like, but something's missing, but why am I not being seen? Or there's something else that I know is there. And it's like that the P, like in Princess and the P, that's at the bottom of all those mattresses within us. That little disruption is asking us to grow beyond what we believe we can grow also. That uncertainty, the discomfort is pushing your edges, partially, yes, for the clients and for the world to benefit from it. But I would say it's mostly for you, so that you can get to know yourself in that way, so that you can gift, like Karin was saying, to yourself what you give to your clients so beautifully. And it's growing. And as you do that, you won't be able to help but to share and to grow more with the clients that you're serving in. And what comes from there, God only knows. But look, and then let's pause and be in gratitude for what we have now. It's like, wow, life's really amazing. Again, if you look at your life now compared to 20 years ago, or even what you believed was true or possible for many of us, our independence, our financial security, whatever that might look like, our being in our truth and spirituality, whatever it is, God, we've come a long way.
Yeah.
And if we can
never
reflect back on
expected that I have a business that would financially sustain me, and only by word of mouth and referral, and it just grows and it grows, and I'm so grateful. And I think I'm remind myself to be so humbled that I don't know, it was just very interesting, because my original question was going to say, like, my business wise, what's my next level, what's not, and then it came to the whole power, being empowered, and looking at me. Maybe that's it, that I'm looking so much everywhere. And
that's why I'm suggesting, if you choose to get a session with Karin, because a lot of times we don't see where we're going, and we think that there's other things in the way, and perhaps there are. But those are the things, like Karin's saying, it's like, oh, they're coming up for my expansion, not to bring me down. That rub is forcing me to pay attention, because if not, I just kind of coast. At least that's the way I am. And thank God for that, because again, our potential is so much greater than we ever anticipated.
Interesting. The healers always need healers to help evolve. Iron sharpens iron for us to grow. And it's and I just say, for those that come in my energy, or come here saying, well, I want to create, I want to do this, and like, it's so possible and it's so real. and being on the other side of it, but you still need to have the mentorship, that partnership, companionship to help feed into you when you have those moments of like, but am I doing it right? Am I, what's going on? And so I'm grateful that this pinged to call in and see Karin again. And when I had a session in February, but this is helping me a lot, and and I will continue.
Amazing.
I think I'll have another one. Yeah.
Right.
And and continue working with other healers, but start practicing healing with your team.
Yeah. There you go.
Yes. See, it's those little, they seem little, but they're huge. On those really,
not everything's outside. It's all
it's
right
like
here too.
that little investment.
Right?
Come on, y'all, that's a dinner and a half out, and then
Yeah.
life changing, like light bulb turning on kind of moments. So anyway, Carol,
Thank you so much.
blessings to you. Thank you for everything you're doing.
Beautiful to see you again.
Amazing.
Good.
Okay, let's continue. Is it Semeli or Semela? And please pronounce it for me.
Semele.
Semele. Thank you.
Yes.
Welcome to the call, Semele.
Thank you. And it's a pleasure to see you again, Karin. We had one Zoom meeting.
Beautiful face.
I have been really kind of struggling with feeling what calls the strongest around. My dog passed away a year and a half ago, and I wasn't really ready to get another dog, but the call's been stronger and stronger. And the same time, I'm trying desperately to free up my life, maybe retire, maybe not, but probably, but free myself up to be traveling more and go. And the traveling would be, like flights where the pet care is a real problem. And so I feel such my own guidance and draw for the freedom of just being able to go. And at the same time, like, ooh, you just need one of these beautiful creatures in your, they're both strong. They both feel called, and
they are, and do both.
Do both.
You have a little earth angel who wants to come in. It's animals. I'll always call them earth angels. And yeah, this wants to come in to bring joy into your life and make you laugh. And the puppy's going to come in really like silly. And there's a lot of, I know there's a lot of ways to get free. Well, let me just say, there's if you're looking, if you want to travel a lot and your animals can't come, go on to a place called Trusted House Sitters. And it's a service that you kind of put your, your puppy up in your house, and people will fly in. They pay to fly in. They'll take care of your house. They'll take care of your dog, and then they'll leave. My sister uses it. She travels constantly. She's never here. And she's got all these new people coming in that just want to come in to see the area and, want to whatever. But there's a lot of ways to go around it. But the reason that those two feelings are both feeling really strong is they're both yeses.
They're both yeses.
Yes.
All right. Anything around the idea of retiring?
They just that's just a choice for you.
Okay.
Does it feel more fun to retire, or, are you still gaining, joy from working? And
Some of each.
Yeah. But that's just a choice.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
It's wonderful to see you.
Can't wait to meet the new puppy.
Karin,
go ahead.
After you.
I hope I I find it in a way that's really clear because there's so many choices.
You will.
And that's exactly the question I was going to ask you, Karin. What would you suggest if we're at this place where we can't decide one way or the other? It's like kind of like at a crossroads. It's like, is there a practice or an invitation that we can speak or be with to bring in clarity, or maybe to tilt the scale in one direction more than the other?
So what they're showing me is the difference between going in your mind and working all the options, and literally it's computer just or going into still point, asking your team. And and just because you're trying to make a decision and you don't have an answer does not mean you have to make a decision right now.
Right.
Sometimes you do. But but just ask your team, is this in my best interest? Is this going to give me everything that I think it's going to? Shall I? But it's getting into that absolute still point and trusting what you hear.
Karin, that's awesome. But sometimes we obsess over the thought, even though there's no real time pressure. How do we overcome that obsession of something that doesn't have a false timeline on it?
Okay, Mr. Analytical, you basically say that makes sense. Show me clearly.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
Listen, but I got on and was surprised and excited.
Well, let's talk in.
Thank you.
All right, Millie, thank you. Wonderful to meet you.
Thank you. Likewise.
Okay, let's continue here. Violet Luce, what a light you are. My goodness. Let's get you to unmute.
Ooh, you are lit.
Welcome, Violet.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm so happy that you're taking my call. Hello?
Oh, we can hear you.
Can you hear me okay? Or should I turn off?
Let's turn off your video. We have a little bit of a delay.
Okay.
So, done. What do you need
This
to do?
I will.
sounds crazy. Yes. Yes. So I can you hear me now?
You're breaking up a little bit.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Okay. Yes. Just quickly, I want to work with Joni Mitchell. Are you familiar? She had a stroke, and I'm really good at what I do, and that would be amazing for me. The other thing is I'm considering working with expectant mothers, and I would like to get your take on it.
So what you're you can do both, and some things that are really big and take a lot of the magic up in the heavens. I don't know how else to say it. They'll take a little bit more time, but what I want you to do is pull your team in and basically say, okay, I want to work with Joni Mitchell. And I want to work with her because I love her energy. I love her music. I know that I can be of great service to her. I want to be able to give this to her. I want to, feel excited when her manager calls. I want this whole process to be beautiful. And I also want to learn something. I want to teach and help her, but I want her to help and teach me as well. So you guys make that happen. And you just let me know what my next step is. And as anybody that knows me, your next step is probably going to be go take a nap and reboot, get out of their way.
Okay. What about working with the expectant mothers? Did you hear me?
Yeah,
Or do you-
I'm trying to decipher the pictures that I'm looking. Joni Mitchell is really
Oh,
big. Keep working on that. Yeah, I see you doing, I don't see you as passionate about the expected mothers.
you're right. You're right. It's just, it would be just so easy for me to help them with classes but no, that wouldn't be my passion.
We are being asked to only do what we love.
Oh,
And it's
well,
scary for those of us who are really good slaves, because it's like, nope, I worked hard. Either that or find more joy in working with them and create from that point. But right now it's not, there's not much energy around it.
Okay, well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you and blessings.
Thank you, Violet, for coming on. Violet, I want to invite you to email me. I'd be interested in connecting with you. There's something there. If you're interested, john@beyondtheordinaryshow.com if you want to reach out. But thank you for coming on. So beautiful.
I would love to.
That'd be
yes,
great.
thank you.
Okay. All right, bye-bye.
Love, love, love.
Love, love, love. Okay, let's continue. Daphne. And Daphne, as you're unmuting, give me a second. Everybody, y'all, the special offer, these 6 live weeks of Karin, again, just that whole activation on each one of those levels. And Karin's it's just no nonsense. This is how you do it. Practical, easy, uplifting. It's like you actually want to do it because it's like you can feel something's moving. It's like, okay, this is awesome. Again, y'all take advantage of it. And for another $50 on top of that, if you choose, you can have a 1-hour reading as well with Karin. So the link's in the special offer. Thank you. And Daphne, welcome.
John, thank you. I love your show.
Thank you.
Tell you. And Karin, I'm so enjoying this program. And if you look in the background, I noticed we have the same dresser. As you can see. I said we have the same taste. And my question is, I have so many questions, but I guess maybe I should just ask you generally if you see anything, if there's anything that, my guides or my spirits, whatever, if you have anything for me, maybe that would probably be the best way.
You have a pretty big life. I don't know where to focus. Where would you like me to focus? Your life is big. You create a lot. You have. You've got a lot of energy. Your guides are busy. They're all like.
Well, if you could sort of zero in on either my family, my daughter. Yeah, maybe that.
Okay. So she feels, no, what a beautiful being. She feels like she's in the process of learning something new, something self-empowerment, something. Are you too close right now?
Very close, yeah. Very close.
Okay. What does she do? What is, yeah, she's actually doing an upgrade. Do you kind of feel like she's leaning on you for that and wanting your advice, or are you silent with what you know?
No, I know she's doing an upgrade, basically, she's going into something that's a little bit more in depth than what she had been, and more people are relying on her, and I'm here for her, I'm sort of her listening, whatever, her shoulder.
Okay,
but I was thinking more along the lines of if is that going to infringe on her personal life? Is there anything that, because I've been asking my guides and my spirits to sort of help me direct her towards, she's between two different people, and if you know what I mean.
Yeah. The greatest gift that you could give her at this point, my guides always say, don't answer questions not asked. Is when you look at where she's at and going through her energy, what I want for you to do is just send incredible blessings to her, that she find her inner peace, and that she's able to make the greatest decisions for her highest growth and happiness. And just send her blessings, and then watch her unfold and answer her own questions.
Well, do you see what I'm saying is, do you see things working out for her the way she wants them to? That's basically my question.
Yes, what's going to be really helpful to her, and you may do it by, I was just watching this interesting thing on, Beyond the Ordinary. And, whenever we make big changes, this woman was basically saying we get these fear pictures, and that we need to remove the fear pictures to increase the dream. But she's in process. She's in process. So every time she takes another step out, she's got more fear pictures, because it's unknown territory. And so
thank you. Okay. And one quick question. I keep asking, and like John was saying, and when he asked you in the beginning, it's the same thing. You don't know whether it's your intuition or what you want. You ask your spirit guides, you ask them, and then you don't know whether what you hear or think is what you want to hear. Say, for example, I have been told that I need double knee replacements. And I keep saying, asking and saying, do I really need them? My knees are going to correct on their own. Do I really need the surgery? And in my head, it says, don't have the surgery, just let it go. And I don't know whether that's because I want to, or you know what I mean? And I know that's hard for you to.
Well, that's a whole intuitive reading. You may want to go deeper into a reading with Karin, this, right?
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Because I can see different situations, but yeah, I can see different situations.
Yeah.
It's kind of, it's kind of akin to the old story where there was a huge flood and a boat came up. There was a guy, right? And a boat came up to save him, and no, I'm waiting for Jesus.
I know.
It's I'm seeing both pictures there. So
right.
It's wonderful.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Maybe the question to ask is just let me know. Let me know when it is going to be the most elegant time for me to go do that.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay.
Great. And Karin, it actually takes me to a place from a comment that Daphne made earlier. It's like, is she going to get what she wants? And then sometimes we become so invested in helping feed the energy of what someone wants. But my practice and my awareness and more of the mastery that I'm stepping into is holding such a big space, not for what is a particular want, but what's possible. Because the one thing wanting and holding on to that could be an anchor into not receiving even something grander than that. And what's this investment about receiving that particular thing? All I know is that we are being redirected in ways that we never have imagined before. We're creating in ways that we were never capable of creating with before. And again, it's a surrender into being open. What else? It's like, and and to practice an initiation of receiving in ways that I haven't allowed myself to receive because it wasn't safe. I wasn't taught, whatever the reason. And breathing into that practice, it's potent what we're expanding into, who we're becoming. And just be aware when we're becoming so emotionally invested in one particular outcome for whatever reason, that we think if that thing were to happen, that the world would finally make sense. And I would say that the world's going to finally make more sense when we allow several things to happen. And we're in the flow with them. But I wanted to offer that to everybody. Again, there's so much that's coming through. And I think that's part of the trends that are emerging, Karin. What do you think?
I think so too. I know that once we get on kind of that flow, they all know what we want, and they're going to give us what we want and even better.
Yeah, and when we ask and we have those energetic upgrades, I love again how you said, okay, go take a nap. Ask your guides for what you want. I don't want this anymore. What was some of that practice? It used to say it's like about letting something go. It's like, no, that's not mine. You guys take it away. This is what I do want. Then go take a nap and let them do the work. Will you say it in your words, because you're so much more elegant than I break down.
We ask for what we want, and ask for our team to tell us our next step. And they almost always say, go take a nap.
And when fears or doubt comes, it's like, that's not mine, or scarcity or whatever. It's like, I have a fear of money. It's like, not mine. Take it away. This is what I do want, and go take the nap, right? Go lay down.
Think about when we were little tiny children and we ran around in circles and we then would drop narcoleptically. Or we would fight taking a nap. We would fight. Well, that's kind of like a lot of us fighting with our team, quit fighting, just take the nap. But that's how we reset.
That's beautiful. And that's how we upgrade. That's how we become receptive to allowing the trigger to go off on the DNA that's wanting to be activated, if you will, y'all. Powerful what's happening. Karin, you're amazing. It's so much fun playing with you, and just to receive what you're transmitting, and again, how easy you make it. It's phenomenal. And your readings are just absolutely incredible. So just thank you for putting this package together, which is amazing, for offering the 1 hour session on top of that at such an amazing price, and for being on the show and just being so generous with your energy and with your love.
No, I love your show. I'm so grateful to you. I love spending time with you. I love your people. I don't know what you call them. I love all of the people that you have, pulled in. And,
me too. Again, so grateful for your time, your energy, and again, your generosity. It's amazing. And all of y'all, thank you all. It's so wonderful to be here with everybody. Thank you for the space you provide, the upliftments that you bring with your presence, whether on the live call or on the replay. It adds to the energy. It's precious and it's invaluable. And really it's absolutely amazing. So, I bow in deep reverence to each and every one of you. Thank you for being on here. I love y'all, and I look forward to seeing you on the next call.